From the post-millennial, Axios CEO goes on tirade, labeling Elon Musk's declaration that citizens are the media now as BS. I love this because the dude is just absolutely losing his mind, and it's fun to watch.
Got any popcorn?
It's on MSNBC.
I want some popcorn here
Watch
for this.
Where's the audio? We got no sound. Is it muted? What's going on? We just have no sound. Give me the sound.
Press Club mute it.
Oh, there we go. I see. Nope. Sound is just we just don't have sound.
Have you tried the ONOFX
Twitter,
Okay, we got it.
everything we do is under fire. Elon Musk sits on Twitter every day, or X today, saying like, we are the media, you are the media. My message to Elon Musk is, bull. You're not the media.
Yeah, we are. Crime
You
war.
having a blue check mark, a Twitter handle, and 300 words of cleverness doesn't make you a reporter. You don't do that by popping off on Twitter. You don't do that by having an opinion. You do it by doing the hard work.
What hard work are you doing there, buddy?
Tim,
These people
this
just
is
look in the mirror.
really like the candle makers being furious at light bulbs.
Yeah.
I mean, they are so far behind the swing here that do they not know that their occupation is basically dead?
There's a great line in iRobot, because I watched it a couple weeks ago, and the Will Smith's character is talking to the CEO, and he's like, your robots are bad, basically. And he was like, I got a commercial idea for you. It's a carpenter working really hard to make a birdhouse, and the robot comes in and does it better. And then you call it, our company ishing on the little guy. And the guy says, you're the kind of person that would ban the internet to save libraries. And that's what I see with this guy in the corporate press. The issue is they're not the media. What does it mean to be the media? Did he say you're not the news? Let's play that again.
Thank you.
My first question was going to be,
My
what
message
media?
today saying like, we are the media, you are the media. My message to Elon Musk is, bull. You're not the media.
Hold on. And that's the important distinction. He didn't say news.
No,
He didn't say they're doing fact checking. He's saying we are the elites who control the broadcast towers, and the little people, the rabble, are not allowed to speak up. That's what he's saying.
Well, the
Bye-bye.
age of internet video, you are the media. You are your own producer. You are your own creator. And media is much more than news and journalism. You make a song and you put it on the internet. That's a piece of media. You control your media now.
Well, look at that picture. He's standing at the National Press Club, and doesn't that strike anybody as weird? It's the press club. Why is it the press? Because they were pressing ink on paper. That's how far back we are talking about. You can say, oh, it's tradition. No, these are dinosaurs who are extinct and they don't know it.
Yep.
They don't understand the nuance and energy that goes into some of this content creation that you have now that's bringing reality to people's faces when the media, mainstream media, whatever you want to define that as, is, right? So the effort, like you alluded to produce your own content, set up your own studio, fund your own studio. I mean, I'm in one right now that has kind of built itself. What work is he talking about that's not there for that?
Funker's an example. You guys put like head cams on soldiers. Well, you don't do it, but they head cams on soldiers, body cams.
Well, I mean, we send our team members into conflict zones, right? I mean, we're a step beyond that. I'm talking about more the people that try to provide that expert nuance on things, where you'll have, this media segment that's like a 4-minute long hit on such a nuanced topic like war. You really need these creators in spaces that are available, like Twitter, to really provide the additional context and nuance necessary to distill something like that. Because watching the news, you can ingest the entirety of the news, but being able to then digest that information, do you have enough context and nuance to do that? I don't think you do, because again, and I've done some of these spots, it's a 4-minute. You get 4 minutes to relay your information.
The fascinating thing about this guy losing his mind is that I'm like, bro, it's been 14 years, right? X has been around for a long time, Twitter at the time. And I remember during the Arab Spring, and then during the Spain, what was it, like an M24 movement it was called, and then, of course, Occupy Wall Street, everybody was using Twitter to report and relay information. And the news media at the time was saying, look at this social media, citizen journalism. Now, the funny thing is, these people lost their minds, and to this day, they still don't know what citizen journalism is. And I'll give you the distinction because this is important. The only reason anybody gets the definition of citizen journalist wrong is because scumbags like this guy and the elites who face losing their job want to make sure they disparage and discredit an independent media. Citizen journalism is this. A guy is walking his dog. A car crashes and he pulls out his phone and he films it. He uploads the video. He walks home with his dog. He never engages in journalism again. Citizen journalism was coined as a reference to regular people posting video and photos to the internet. However, what ends up happening is we now have on X, and we've had for some time now, but now it's getting particularly more prominent, especially with the ability to make money, accounts that exist solely for the purpose of reporting news. That would just be a journalist, a regular journalist. Mario Nawfal, for instance, a guy who has a team, they collect information, they disseminate it on Twitter. Or on X, he's got a big show. This is a guy who is not a citizen journalist, but the corporate press has long called any independent personality citizen journalist because in these circles, in the press club and at these events like News Exchange, they all understand that to mean these people are not journalists. They accidentally are reporting news. So that's why when I hear people using their language, I reject. I say that's not what citizen journalism is. And I'm proud to say that 13 years ago, I went to, or this is around 11 or 12 years ago, I went to News Exchange in Morocco, and I sat in front of a crowd of several thousand journalists, and I said they should all be fired from their jobs, every single one of them, because they have no idea how to use technology, and they're reporting in archaic ways that do not reach regular people. And here we are, finally, this guy is now screaming, having figured it out. But I love it, because there's another moment I want to shout out at, it was Black Hat, I believe, the hacker convention, much more corporate than DEF CON, but they happened around the same time. And there were these powerful, there was some panel was happening on digital media, social media. And the people who run these big companies, there were a couple people on a panel. Someone asked in the audience, why should we care what you have to say? We can get information from regular people on social media. And they lost their minds. Dude, it's about time these dinosaurs accept that they are trying to ban the internet to save libraries.
The situation that he neglects to even address is the fact that the corporate media failed miserably during COVID. That's a big reason why you see podcasts and you see new media or whatever you want to call it be so influential and have such an impact. If the corporate media hadn't been the lapdog of the established government, if the CDC had been telling the truth to the media, or the media had been pushing back as opposed to doing exactly what the government said they should do, then they might be in a position to say, no, we're necessary. They might be in a position to say what the service that we provide is valuable. But they were a literal arm of the government. They were a propaganda machine, and they did whatever the government said. There was so much pushback about the idea that it came from China. Just saying that it came from China would get you called racist and stuff. And I'm not going to get into the many things that turned out to be untrue during COVID, but the fact that the media was doing exactly what the government wanted them to do, and they did it because they wanted the access to the government, and they wanted to know that they would get a cushy job, or they would be able to get someone's home phone number so they could get the scoop, so they could get the information out to the population fastest. And it was total. They totally abdicated their initial job, which was to hold powerful people accountable. They became just a propaganda arm, and they totally missed the whole point of their existence. So for them to say now that they're upset that the new media, that other sources are out there, is absolutely ridiculous.
This is just them. He's chanting, "Look at me," because you people are ignoring me. As Tim said, you guys, Axios is what? How big? So compared to Timcast?
They do. So someone posted a report. They do like 24 million per month. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy. We do like 70 to 80.
From a certain perspective, though, right? So my military background is in like information operations, right? So I also see an open-ended platform like this as kind of a gold mine if I was still performing that function from a dissemination perspective. As a dissemination medium, something without checks and balances from a level of expertise, what you're really looking at is the opportunity to really shape narratives in whichever direction you want with, some false sense of expertise, right? So you'll have these... anonymous Twitter accounts kind of X accounts, excuse me, kind of posing as this, as some level of expert on a topic, when in actuality, what you're really seeing is something regurgitated with a couple words changed. So where exactly the balance is to that, I'm not really nuanced or eloquent enough to understand, but I do know that when I look at something like this, I see a breeding ground for misinformation, disinformation, stuff like that. And you can't say that that's not there. And the design is that the community is supposed to weed that out. But what's going to need to happen over time is it's going to take time, right? Rather than being told somebody is an expert and presenting bona fides over time, you'll have to eventually, as a society, weed out those accounts.
Yeah, we've got community notes. That's a really good stab at that. And it's kind of like saying reality is a breeding ground for murder, and how do we navigate around the way of laws, and we have rules and social morals, because it is. Real life is a breeding ground for all the horrible things that can happen in real life. We've just tempered it so that it's very unlikely for it to occur. And it's the same thing with disinformation on social media.
The level of anonymity opportunity is orders of magnitude higher when it's, you can just throw up an anime profile pic and then, make broad-ranging claims on topics that you don't necessarily have the expertise yourself. But if it's confident, right? So, those that have studied communication styles know that delivery of information confidently increases the likelihood that somebody's going to believe what you're saying, right? So if you deliver that information confidently and it seems to be contrary to what a wider opinion is, then those of us that are open-minded, myself included, are going to pay a little bit of attention to that. But what we can't see is the orders of magnitude below that or beyond that, where the origin of the information is coming from.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.